All right. What's going on? What's going on? It's another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show, man. I'm out here doing it from my car, man. I'm got the family sleep in the hotel, so I'm out traveling and didn't want to wake everybody up or be too loud, so I'm doing it from the car, man. So do I sound okay? Do I, is everything all right?
Man, everything's good, man. It's a wonderful thing. Whatever we
Hey.
got to do to get it done, we're going to get it done.
Hey, that's what we do, man. Hey, look, I just want to show. Look at my view, this morning. Look at this.
Wow.
Those are some beautiful mountains right there with I mean the way the clouds touch down on them out here and I'm as a matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it as an undisclosed location. You know what I mean? I don't need the government drones coming after me or something like that, But hey, man, you good?
I'm good, man. I'm great.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get it, man. It's another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show, folks.
You are listening to the Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Yeah. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, the Tipping Point Show.
All right. Yes, sir. I love it. Again, it's another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show, folks. It is yours truly, Mr. Just Ask Joe, and my other host of the Tipping Point Morning Show, my brother from another mother, Mr. John Yah, Esoteric Concepts himself. Brother, how you doing this morning?
I'm awesome, man. I see you early in the morning, right? It's early, man. You at?
We 2 hours behind right now, so this is 7 a.m. right now, and so it ain't too bad. At all. This is what was it? What would that be? When I got up, it was 7. So it was what 7:65 my time here. No big deal. My eyes are almost waking up around that time anyway back home, so it's no big deal. All good. So man, how's your week been?
Man, it's been awesome. Again, another great week of getting production done. What can I say? It's always moving some products if I didn't do that. But I tell you what, though, man, I had a very interesting day. I stopped by Brother Frank at Health Daddy. Very interesting. I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all don't know that brother and know where his shop is and what it's about here in Louisville, I'm telling you, you're missing out on your health. You're not understanding how this thing works of the body. So you can go and find all the herbs down there. If he ain't got it, he'll get it for you. So, if you got an issue, he'll look it up for you. So, I mean, for real, it's something that's extremely unique. I'm definitely was filled with just sitting there talking with the brother and looking at all the products that he have. Listen, we ain't got nothing like this in Louisville, and we need to celebrate this, right? We really need to give his brother his props and really go visit him about our health and getting our health together, because he's got an awesome thing he's got going on there.
Hey man, can you are you able to pull up the address? Because it's off of Ralph Avenue. Yeah. I forget the actual address.
If he's listening, Frank, if you're listening, tag that address in, because I don't know it right off bat.
Exactly. But y'all remember though, healthdaddywow.net. Again, that's healthdaddywow.net. And you know what? While we on it, let's go ahead and let them see what we're talking about.
Hey folks, check out healthdaddywow.net. 100% plant-based herbs and supplements. Whether you're in person or online, use the word tipping for 10% off. Remember, feel better, look great, healthdaddywow.net. Remember, healthdaddywow.net.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, it's an experience going over there, man. And you know what's funny is even the other day I was having a little bit of a little backyard boogie, little cookout or what have you. Close family friends. It was the lady's birthday. So, one of the young ladies that came over, which is like a god sister or something of that nature. And she was like, Mr. Frank, she actually works with Mr. Frank, and nothing but good things to say. It's always good when you meet somebody and you got a mutual friend and they yet and still have nothing but good things to say about that person, because they have an up close and personal relationship with that person. By, in that case, she's working with them. So it's cool to do that and run into that, man. And that brother right there is just a good brother, and he just has a passion to help the community, man. So you're absolutely right. We need to celebrate him more. And again, y'all folks need to get out there, healthdaddywild.net. If you got questions, health and wellness, any of that, man, he's got answers for you there. Shout out to you, Phyllis Satya Churchill Myers, Grand Rising Queen right there. Man, so, it's been a lot going on, man. And I feel like we gotta say something. What is in the air with these doggone mass shootings here lately? I mean, I don't know, but it just seems very abnormal to have them back to back like this. It's like 1 week to 1 day after another. And it's almost somebody's affected that you might know. I got another friend. She said that her kid's doctor was, I guess, the one that was killed in the church shooting. I think that was out in California, LA, or something like that. There was a church mass shooting or something that happened at a church shooting, and the doctor was actually died, and that was her kid's doctor, and he's been their doctor for many years. So, somewhat of a loss to them. But it seems like something's in the air, something's in the water. Somebody's conspiring something. I don't take things for face value, man, all the time. But it just seems like something is being set up or trying to be made to happen. What's your thoughts, man?
There are millions of people in this country, and there are countless of schools, and people have their own anxieties and things that they're going through. Listen, gas is up, prices are up, and people are struggling, right? And again, don't couple with vaccines and everything else that's in the body, along with the water, the food. When you couple these things, you put all these things together, you have a person that is functioning really with lacking all of their abilities to think life clear, to think it through, right? And so just no different than suicide or people going through mental health issues. It's a lot going on. And so some people just not cut out for it. And it's unfortunate. My condolences goes out to anyone that suffered from anyone else's demise of not wanting to live and have an abundant life. But right now, people ain't turning the television off. People are not changing their diets. There's a lot of stuff going on. Man, listen, there's some type of marijuana that's apparently going around that's making people so docile that you see them kind of nodding in the middle of the day, just standing on the corner. Now, this is not heroin. This is something they're smoking, right? And so what you have,
which in turn, a lot of the smoke out there is laced with heroin and other things as well.
Well, but marijuana itself is laced. The modified organic chemical itself is laced. And so what you have here is that you have a lot of people with docile minds. Well, guess what? If you have a docile mind and you can't figure your way out of a problem, that's very stressful for you. You can't figure your way out of your financial condition, and that can be very depressing for you. And when you can cause you to either sell drugs, commit crimes, and end up in prison, or you can go see some doctor and he can put you on some medicine. Now your mind is really screwed up for the rest of your life. So what's happening is that people are not taking care of their health. I was at Health Daddy yesterday, and some of the simple questions that people come in to ask, you would think these things we would learn in public school at early age of how to diet, and people who are younger and younger being pre-diabetic. It's really sad, but I really fought One thing I'm gonna say this, and this is very interesting. You know, when we point these things out, whether we're talking about the school system ain't treating us right or teaching us right, dumbing us down, whether we talk about the white man or the government, what do you think is the biggest problem in this world of why we can't achieve and why we can't get ahead, despite everything that's going on? You know, what do most people would think the problem is, or why? Now I'm gonna put it this way: why Black people, us as a people, melanated people, cannot get ahead. What do you really think the issue is overall?
Man, I mean, overall, it's mindset.
Boom.
You know,
boom.
It's simply mindset. We've
exactly that. It is mindset. So it's really about taking care of yourself, because what you see in the world is what you're actually producing inside yourself. If you change your mindset of way you see things, the things outside of you will change. So I'm not here to blame the white man. I'm not here to blame the government or none of the systems. I'm gonna tell you, a poor mindset will keep that pressure on your neck where you feel like there is no good chance to making it out here. It's your mindset.
Or where you always feel the need to point the finger elsewhere.
Right.
That poor mindset says, I'm not taking ownership for the fact that I did this, that I opened my mouth to say these things, that I physically did this thing. I'm going to blame it on someone else. It's someone else's fault as to why you made me do this, or you made me say this, or you made me act in this way. Someone else's fault. That's that mindset. And you're right, bro. That's, if there was one thing to point out as to why we as a people have where it seems we can't get ahead, no matter how much wonderful, great achievements that are going on out there.
Exactly.
We tend to have this ideal that we can't get ahead, or that excuse me, we're not getting ahead, and it has everything to do with our mindset. You said it. And let's see some of the comments here. Let's see. Vicky Irvin says, people don't realize they are ingesting sympathetic compounds and inorganic foods the body doesn't know how to digest.
Yeah, synthetic. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Take a bowl of margarine and set it outside, and take a bowl of butter and set it right next to it. The flies even, they won't mess with that margarine because it's fake. They'll mess with the butter, but they won't mess with the margarine. Let's see. Kyrie Muhammad, the greatest nation is the imagination.
Right. And I think Kyrie Muhammad, didn't he take he went on a trip? I definitely would love to have him on the show to talk.
We talked about that. Yeah. We're gonna have to have him on the show.
Come on and tell us about that trip, man.
Yeah, we'll do it. Matter of fact, we might see if we can have him on next week and get him to come on and give us some nuggets, because he went out there and he was around some successful people and heard some great. I know he heard some jewels. So, it'd be good to just kind of glean off of some of that right there. Shout out to you, Kyrie Muhammad. Shout out to you, Vicky Irvin. But yeah, man, it's mentality nonetheless, man. He says he's still here.
Yeah.
So that's what's up.
Going on this weekend. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I think he's out. I don't know. I think he's out Vegas. I'm not sure. Yeah, but either way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good stuff there. But yeah, man, if that was the one thing that I would say, it's interesting how difficult it can be for people in the midst of a situation that they're going through to, because people will talk it all the time. They'll talk good games about how they, trying to be enlightened or understand the ideal that where focus goes, energy flows. But then in the midst of a situation, it's like all that goes right out the window, and you don't have the ability. Instead, they'll continue to focus on the negative. They'll do it in different forms, whether it's posting stupid stuff on social media in the midst of their emotions or what have you. And they're going to continue to go down that rabbit hole.
Yes.
You know what I mean? No matter how many times they have fought against that in the past, if they still are stuck in that mentality, if they still reach for the poorest of music when they're feeling down, versus going and listening to something enlightening, then guess what? You're going to continue to find yourself in the poorest of situations mentally, if in fact that's the way you continue to roll. So again, you know, I say it all the time, man, where focus goes, energy flows. And if you keep your head stuck on stupid, then you just going to continue to get stupid. That is it. That is it, man. Well, we got a fantastic show for everybody today. We got a brother, Michael Douglas, who is coming on to kind of give us, he's probably going to give us the crypto wrap up as we talk about the crypto come up. So he is considered the crypto MD. And I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I love having this brother on the show. And it is simply because he is reachable, meaning he hasn't made it to the pinnacle of where he wants to be yet. He's not in an unreachable position right now with his progress in the crypto world. So he's in a situation to where he's on the come up, which is why we dubbed it the crypto come up.
Money, yeah, I'm manifesting money, yeah, I'm manifesting money, yeah.
So definitely gonna have this brother on right there, and we'll be chit-chatting it up real quick here shortly. And I guess, you know what, it's about that time. So how about this? Without further ado, you want to go ahead and bring him on?
Let's bring him. Let's do it.
Hey, let's go ahead and do this. Normally we do the crypto wrap up right around this time, where we got a crypto king sitting right here with us. So we're going to bring him on. And without further ado, family, welcome Michael Douglas, the crypto MD, to the Tipping Point Morning Show.
Manifesting money, yeah, I'm manifesting money.
There it is, man. You done came through the ring and whatnot, and you here, bro. So welcome to the Tipping Point Morning Show. How you doing, family?
You got yourself muted. Your mic.
Up, it happened for a quick second. There you go. Are you there? All right, he might be having some technical difficulties there. You there?
Mic check. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Mic check 1 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
3 4. All right. Welcome, brother. How you doing?
Thank you. Oh man, I'm doing good, man. I'm excited. I appreciate the conversation y'all had just a few minutes ago. Like, that was some powerful stuff y'all was talking about. And before I even get into anything, I want to get this off because I was just looking through my notes. What y'all really talking about is emotional intelligence, right?
Absolutely.
Just what some have termed emotional intelligence. So, you know, they don't teach us that. So I just want to share something that I wrote in my notes from last week. It says, a man without a goal is like a ship without a rudder. Only man has the godlike power to make his surroundings change to fit him, because his environment will change as he changes. A man's environment is a merciless mirror of him as a human being, and if he thinks his environment can stand a little improvement, then all he has to do is improve, and his environment will improve to reflect the change in him. Right. We must never conform to the big group. We must love them and serve them, because our whole success will depend on our ability to do the things better, to do things, but never lose our own individuality and identity by permitting ourselves to become submerged in what has historically proved himself to be little more than a suffocating sea of indirection and purposelessness.
Wow.
Now, I know that was a lot.
Wow. Hey, but that was dope,
I know that was
though.
a lot, but I had to get that off. That was Earl Nightingale. If y'all don't know who that is, definitely Google him. So
absolutely,
let's get
absolutely. He's definitely an archaic, symbolic quote, whatever you want to call it, when it comes to this show. I know we spit a lot of things that have come from that direction as well. But man, when you talk about that, emotional intelligence, when you talk about mindset, let's talk about Michael Douglas and how that has played well in your life right now. I want to talk about real quick where you are now in the crypto world, and then we're going to go back and talk about how you got there. Okay, so right now in the crypto world, what would you say? You and I were talking the other day, and you said in crypto, this is going to be your first 6-figure year. Is that correct?
Yeah. So this year would be my first year as a 6-figure earner in crypto, on the right path with the right people. Finally, after about 5 long years of ups and downs in the bear market, losing, not getting the right information. But yeah, so this year definitely will be, the 6-figure year. I've already amassed, over 5 figures in digital assets. I got one NFT worth about 40,000 right now.
That's what you said. You said an NFT.
That's a whole nother conversation. We talking about NFT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
absolutely. Yeah. You're gonna have to enlighten us on that as well, brother. Because absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So take us back, right? So you're.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So take us back. You are a right now. You're a 5-figure. You've amassed 5 figures. You're about to hit 6 figures this year. You're going above 6 figures. When you talk about where you came from to where you are now, what would you say? Did you think when you were younger that right now you'd be talking to people, telling them about how you're becoming a 6-figure earner in anything, let alone crypto?
No, actually, I always knew that greatness was upon me ever since I was a child, but I can't say that I knew I would be sitting here having this type of conversation today. No, I can't say that. But I always knew I had that seed of greatness in me. Like, I was in a drama club as a child. I played Martin Luther King. I did Frederick Douglass. I was always the lead, in the drama club, and I was always a standout student. I graduated near the top of my class, double core high school, but just kind of got off into the wrong track. So I always knew that, greatness was upon me. I was just making some mistakes along the way. Or some people would, might not say they're mistakes. I like to call them lessons. I learned a lot of lessons along the way. I'll put it that way. Trying to speak positive,
Now, as you and I spoke the other day, one of the things that we talked about was, in the midst of you growing up and coming to this point, like you just pointed out, kind of going in the wrong direction at times. At one point, you were in and out of jail for a while, right?
Yes. So I was young. I was working in a barbershop at the time. I started cutting hair when I was 12. And I started working in the barbershop when I was like 19. And about a year into it, one of my childhood friends' cousin, he was really, really, heavier in the street. And he took a liking to me. We were always cool, as children. But as we got older, he just kind of liked my style because he saw that I wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. And we just kind of started hanging out, me, him, and my best friend. And that's how I got into, drug trafficking. So I did that for like a couple of years. Never knew how to sell it or anything like that. I just was wanting to go pick it up and drop it off. Hate to get all into the gory details, but you asked the question. So
absolutely.
What was the question? Anyway,
no, one of the reasons why I want to bring this out is because, I've heard the rhetoric that, it's so hard when you come out of jail. It's so hard because I got a record. I can't achieve. I can't do this. And I know things are hard. That Everybody goes through things that are hard in life. But this is where mindset plays a part. Mindset is what's going to get you from point A to point B. successfully, you know, and sometimes we got to be jarred. You know, I mean, I had to go over my brother's crib business the other day. Brother John Yah, we had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and it was as if he helped to jar me just a bit, lit a little bit of a fire under me, and boom, you know, some things happened that weren't happening before. And, you know, so sometimes I feel like that, but I want to make sure that people know that you didn't come from no lap of luxury or nothing like that, that you are a regular brother out here that fell into some troubles or issues or what have you. Let me ask you a question. As you were growing up, did you have both your mother and your father in your life?
No. So when I was 3 months old, my father was killed. He got hit by a train down the street from the house. He was a Vietnam vet, so he came back then they called him shell shock, right? So he would have episodes in mental episodes. So he took to drinking and to numb his pain, I guess self-medicate. And long story short, he got really drunk one night and ended up getting hit by a train. So I grew up without a father. My grandfather stepped in, my mother's father. He stepped in and came to the house every day and pretty much, took on a father figure role. And
shout out to the grandparents out there that have done that.
Absolutely. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here right now, And then my grandmother, which is my father's mother, she definitely a heavy influence also, because she was a caretaker. She had a daycare center, so she pretty much raised us as well as the whole neighborhood. And she was an entrepreneur. She taught piano lessons. And my grandfather, he was also an entrepreneur. He had a lawn care business. So I grew up by entrepreneurs. I never saw either one of them cash a check they didn't create. You know what I mean? They never waited for a boss man, to pay them.
So basically, business ownership was instilled within you. That was something that from early on was inside of you.
That's all. Yeah, that's all I know. So when you talk about mindset, it just makes me think back to, when I was in prison the last time, I had come across MLM right before I got locked up, about 8 months before I joined my first MLM. Shout out to all the MLMers out there. I did a one called Wake Up Now. And long story short, it's really what set me on the right path as far as this mindset stuff. Like I was always a positive minded person. Always thought, I always attracted good people. Even when I was doing wrong, I had good people around me, the right people around me. But it was the mentor that I met. His name is Haziq Ali, and he had a movement called the Millionaire Minded Movement. Anyway, he was in this company called Wake Up Now at the time, and he was killing it. Mm-hmm. So I started following him, and he really showed, he's actually, the great grandson of Lewis Latimer, who actually helped Thomas Edison and do the light bulb. So this guy is like, he's like, I feel like he's come back, like this guy is actually Les Brown's personal mentee. He's went from sleeping in a car to he's probably, up over 10 million. Who knows how much money he's worth now, but he's really changed his life around as well. But long story short, it was him in the mindset training. It's called Millionaire Minded. You can go to the website, millionaireminded.com or wearemillionaireminded.com, and you'll see where I get my mindset from. So that's why I was bringing that up.
Wow.
If it wasn't for so training, and matter of fact, we're supposed to be on a call right now. I'm usually on a call Saturday mornings at 9:00. He does Monday, Friday, the assistant does Saturday. But I make time for the tipping point, all the time.
Hey, we appreciate you, man. Hopefully this will be a good transition to a positive mindset just the same. So in and out of jail, your father died, before you got a chance to know him. Which, again, goes back to speaking out to mental health issues, especially in our community. And, as you grow up, your last stint in jail, you run into MLM, which, I mean, even Robert Kiyosaki said, you know, that if he had it to do all over again, he would do it with MLM, you know, because it's the ability to work for yourself, but not by yourself. You know, you know, all the legal fees and everything have all been paid for by the main company, but all that overhead. Yep. You get the smallest responsibility, and you can take it and you can turn it into $1 million income, as much as you want. So you get that mindset instilled within you. Right. Now, where I met you from is through the Bitcoin Campus, right? So shout out to bitcoincampus.org. Y'all can check them on Facebook. I got to go and see how many more members on the Facebook page that I got, because I probably got some money coming to me. So I got to remember to do that when I get off here. Shout out to Bitcoin Campus. Absolutely. Absolutely. But look, so with that in mind, right, you know, how did you get from, you know, where did you first start investing your money into crypto? I mean, you first started in business, once again, you know, outside of being a barber, you started in MLM, you know, so how does that take you to crypto? Because I also know that you're familiar with the Forex market also.
Okay, good question. So when I got to the county jail, this was after I joined MLM. So I found, I got my upline's address and wrote her, and it took her about 2-3 months. She finally wrote me back after I got shipped, I believe. She finally wrote me back, and she told me that, you know, the company that we were in had folded, but she had found an industry called Forex. I'm like, Forex, what is that? You know, I know I got this Forex jump put on. That's the only thing I know about a Forex, right? So she sent me the packet, you know, and I read over it. I'm like, okay, it sounds kind of like stocks, you know, and I had been to a stocks seminar previously, but it was too busy in the street to really, you know, at the time, my mindset, right? So I was like, yeah, okay, I can rock with this. So I did all the research I could back there when I was locked up. And when I came home, you know, I decided to pay attention to, you know, put my focus on Forex. Well, after getting shipped from one place to another, I had a roommate. He was a futures trader. And then after he got shipped, I had another roommate come in, and he was the one who told me about crypto and Bitcoin mining. So I learned about Forex, futures, and crypto all from. So is this,
and let me ask you, Mike, I don't mean to cut you off, but is this after you came home and you're sitting in halfway houses? Is that what you're saying?
No. So this was, okay, actually, so I learned about the Forex in the county jail before I got my time the last time. And then when I got to prison, and that's when I got the roommates that taught me about futures and crypto.
So basically, the universe was just setting you up. I mean, you were in the streets when you were younger, and even though your mindset wasn't right when you first went to a stock seminar when you were younger in the streets and whatnot, your mindset wasn't right, so you didn't jump in then. But it was here. It was here, right? So it was here. So that means that when someone did come to the table with Forex trading, your mind was open because you had that familiarity from years before. And then next thing you know, you're getting people after people after people, roommates in jail and prison that are all doing this type of stuff. That's wild right there. You know, the universe was just setting you up.
Make this up. I tell people all the time, I couldn't make it up if I couldn't make it up if I tried. I tell people that all the time. Like, I had to go sit down. You know what I'm saying? I really had to go sit down and just take that and just be still. And, you know, that's how it happened for me.
So the universe put you in position to have no other choice. I mean, you could have not involved yourself in that, but hey, when you sitting in jail and prison, what's the one commodity that you got the most of? Time, right?
Number time.
So you was able to take your time and start studying up on these things. So let's fast forward. You come out of prison.
Yeah.
All right. Your last time.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. What do you do with the information that you've accumulated and you're now out of prison?
So I immediately started, doing as much research as I could online, trying to anybody I could. So, like I said, I did Forex first because it just made more sense to me. Like crypto was way over my head. I felt like an alien, trying even to describe it to somebody, right? So that was my initial judgment to just go ahead and get into Forex. So I got a job eventually driving a cab, and I didn't even bring this up earlier, but in between the time, I made my first child and lost him the same day he was born. So, I really had to overcome a whole lot this last 5 to 6 years. But the crypto, I started focusing more so on that in about 2017 or 18. And I've been really all in on it since 2019 after really, doing all the research that I could, seeing that this is where we were headed, whether we wanted to or not. This is like a unstoppable train. You're either going to get on the train or you get run over, right? So that was my decision to really, just buckle down and get all the way into it. And I feel like I'm getting off track again. What was the question? I do apologize.
No, you good, man. You good. We just chatting it up, because I wanna get, you come out of prison, so, you are into you take this information, you focus on Forex first, and then you jump into crypto. Now did you bang your head in Forex?
Oh man, it took L after L. It took me about 3 years, to really become consistently successful and start making consistent withdrawals in Forex. About 3 years. And the crypto, the thing about the crypto, right? So I got into it as a trader. There's so many ways to get involved in crypto. And being that I was a Forex trader, it was just a natural thing for me to get into, crypto as a trader. So I looked at it totally as a trader, didn't realize this was actually, a real, quote unquote, real asset that people are actually, buying and holding. It was just something on a chart to me. You know what I mean? It was something that I could chart and trade. So when I realized that, I said, look, hold up, let me back up. And that's when I really started doing the research on blockchain technology and what it really was and the white papers and all this, that like, it was really, really, blew my mind as to what even money was. Like I had to relearn, like we think money is a piece of paper. Like that's not money. Money is really the energy that you use to, money is just a tool, right? To exchange energy. That's all it is. So once I really learned that, like, and shout out to, what was it? The Creature from Jekyll Island. If you haven't watched it, Creature from Jekyll Island, or what's the other one? It's another one. It'll come to me. But The Secret of Oz. They always put it in the movies, right? All the secrets, the stuff that they should have taught us, it's always in a movie somewhere. So when you watch stuff like that and you really learn where money came from, what the Federal Reserve really is, and it's really mind-blowing. Because there's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve, right? It's no more federal than Federal Express. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and own the business. That's
know.
what it is.
Right. Right. People don't even know that this piece of paper that they taught you, trained you to go, bust your ass, 40 hours a week for and die for, like, that is not even why you were born. Yeah, you weren't born to work a job, pay bills, and die. And, it's our mindset. That's what they taught us, that's what they trained us. So it's people like me, passionate about what we do and passionate about mindset. It's our jobs to, lead the way.
So look, real quick,
where I'm at now, mentally.
Hey, I want to talk more about that. I'm going to go to commercial real quick, and we'll come right back. We'll talk more about that. I know my brother John Yah, he's got some questions there because, he's got the pen and he gets that eye of the tiger face on him where where I can tell he's listening.
I see it. I'm ready.
Formulating questions, man. So I know he's got a couple questions. We'll come back from commercial here in a second, and We'll talk more. Right now, folks, it's the Tipping Point Morning Show.
Habibi Trading Company, home of soap, sticks, and Saya Baba products. Over 400 locations at a store near you. Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky, Southern Indiana, or find yours online at sayababa.com. Again, that's sayababa.com. Habibi Trading Company, where you can find fragrances to incite your senses.
Thank you, Truth Be Told, for allowing God's Lives Matter to be a sponsor. Wearable products, as the purple t-shirt, is bearing witness. Every life created by God has infinite value. Visit God'sLivesMatter.com.
And we're back right here with the Tipping Point Morning Show. Folks, you know, that last commercial there, that's Incredible, INKREDIBLE custom. Folks, if from flyers to just about anything, promotional, digital, paper, t-shirts, everything, you can get it right there from Incredible Customs. So definitely check them out whenever you get a chance. Incrediblecustom.com.
That's
All
our
right,
brother.
so
That's our brother Kari Muhammad we just spoke with.
absolutely, and that's the brother we're gonna have on next week. I believe we gonna get him on next week and talk about. He's out there with some masterminds doing some training and positive uplifting and just nugget catching, gold mining out there in Vegas, grabbing some dope information. So, you know, as we talk about this, we're talking about, again, we're here, folks, with the Crypto MD, all right, brother Michael Douglas, all right, and you know, we're talking about the crypto come up. You know, this is a brother who has right now amassed a strong 5 figures in crypto. And this year is going to be his first year as a 6-figure earner. Now, John, we're getting into this conversation about crypto and the power that it has to take a regular average person and help create wealth for them. You know, what's your take as we're digging into this conversation with brother Michael?
You know, when I this whole week has been an interesting week, and I would say that, let me tell you something is very important. The elders are extremely important to have. Why is that? To have an elder close to you, specifically one that's been through some stuff, that is wise in looking at systems repeating itself. Every 20 years, there's something new. So you guys that are under 40, that means that if you count 20 years before that, you was only 20 years old. You wasn't even mentally fully an adult, meaning your brain was not fully developed. And you may have seen something. It looks familiar, but it wasn't really, you know how we are when we're 20, we think we know everything. Then another 20 years, it repeats itself. Something happens again. you really didn't pay attention to it because you don't remember it happened before then. And you didn't have the elder to tell you about it before then. It ain't until you get around to your 60s that you start looking at things as reciprocal, repeating itself. So, that's interesting. But I wanted to drop that while I talked to this brother, because you have a great story. In fact, as I was listening, you have had the perfect people around you to gear you to where you are now. And it was based on, again, your mindset and whatever it is you was already put in you that led you to these thought paths that you was having, that led to you to these individuals that came into your life. That's awesome. And it's awesome to know that you have been somewhere, specifically in the belly of the beast, where a lot of Black men are going and are at. When I say are going, there's a lot of men going there. And there's a lot of men there, and then they got to come out and challenge to get out here to make it. I've always said, and of course I served time in prison, I've always said that if a brother can make it 6 months out here, he has the potential to make it further. Here's why. Because before you go to prison, if you've never been there, you have nightmares. All right. Nightmares of living in the streets and waking up in prison. Okay. You have nightmares. Those are nightmares. If you're in prison and you dreaming up the streets, you don't want to wake up. It's really a nightmare reverse, because you wake up in hell, right? Now, after you serve so much time in prison, it's reverse. You out in the free world, but you're having prison dreams. Nightmare again. Right. And so these cycles is hard for some brothers to get over, to end up. And this is why they cycle, go right back, hang with the same people, do the same thing, and end up back into the prison. And the door becomes a revolving door. We know we have met many brothers that have constantly go back to prison, go back to prison, go back to prison. And we never really understood the mindset, but one of the things I definitely commend you, because you studied, and that's the place to study. If you're going to be in there, you might as well pick up a book. I tell everybody, I studied law in prison. So you might as well pick up a book and do something with that old time that you got, right? And prepare yourself mentally. Man, studying stocks is an awesome thing to do if you're locked up, if you happen to be locked up. But let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. When you first got out of prison, what was the mindset of just having a place to stay, of something to eat? What was your first pressure when you was released? And how was you released? Was you released on parole? Or was you released on serving out your time? Was there something waiting for you? Family member, a job? How did you start? That's the first thing I want to ask you.
Okay, so no, I maxed out my time, no paperwork.
Gotcha.
But that's actually a technicality on that story. I don't want to get involved right now, but technically no paperwork, right? So the first thing I did was, so I moved home with my mother, and because I lost everything, and about a month later, I left and went with an ex that I was with maybe almost 20 years ago. Long story short, when I came home, I think I was home like 5 days. She came over here to drop my niece off because she was driving a cab. I'm like, what you doing driving a cab? So that's how I actually got into driving cabs when I came home from prison. Gotcha. I was riding with her because she was working the night shift. I was like, well, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna let you drive a cab out here at night. So I started riding with her in the cab. That's how I ended up getting a job in the cab industry, because I couldn't get any other job. Like, nobody was trying to hire me because of my record.
Gotcha.
So that's what I really came home to. We actually started staying in a motel, and that's what I came home to.
Gotcha.
You asked another question in there?
No, that was the main. The main was about your first struggle, because
so I had a foundation. Yeah, go ahead.
Good. Now, when you were studying Forex, or when you were studying Forex and you were studying just the whole realm of stock, what did you learn about how money works?
Great question. So when she sent me the packet, it was pretty much like, just a pamphlet telling us about what the industry was, how much money was in it, and how it worked. So I didn't have, back there, you don't have access to the internet, or you're not supposed to. So we actually had Encyclopedia Britannica. So I could go offline, but not online. So I would go to Encyclopedia Britannica and look up, stuff on Forex, stocks, or whatever. That's how I actually got, the basic knowledge of it. And yeah, what was the question again? I keep getting off track. I apologize.
It's okay. So what we're talking about is where you learn how money works.
Right. So
go ahead.
Yeah. No. Okay. So that's what planted the seed into me. To really learn how money works. So I would actually, when I came home, I would go and Google and YouTube, and that's how I found The Secret of Oz. So if you've never seen The Secret of Oz, it's basically a documentary breaking down how money was created, and the Federal Reserve, fractional reserve banking, all that stuff. So that's how I started getting and learning how money actually works. And now, after being in the markets trading, I can actually look on a chart and see where the money is moving from and where it's going to. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, correct. So you started learning the different currencies and how currency works and the values of it, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, specifically in Forex trading, you learned currency, how currencies pair to another currency in another world, how they are bet against each other, and which one pulls the lower one. Right, gotcha. So that's a very interesting concept when we're learning currency, specifically currency, because if you notice, we're living in the U.S. and when we're talking currency, we're really talking the dollar bill. And a lot of times when the currency around the world is challenged, it's challenged against the U.S. currency. In fact, when you do Forex trading, you can only trade it back into the U.S. currency to cash it back out, which is interesting. So it says a lot about the U.S. currency in the world and the strength that it holds. Now, when you talk about crypto and the U.S. currency, how do they pair?
Okay, so when you say how do they pair, I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, so when you were pairing euro with U.S. currency, right? There's a pair there. One is a little lower, one is a little higher, and then advice. How do you pair the crypto with U.S. currency when you make your trade?
Okay, so without being too technical, I guess for your audience, I'm not sure if everybody knows, the details for it like that. But when you talk about trading, you have a pair. Like you said, you can't trade without having two. So one is the base and one is the quote. So in crypto, Bitcoin would be your base, USD would be the quote.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's too over your audience's head. I'm not sure if that's in your question.
No, you're making it simple. That's the way I like it. I like it simple. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So as you do that,
how you pair it.
So as you do that, when you're trading, so because again, when it comes to crypto and I guess that's one of the things I love about it is you've got options. So you can trade doing a Forex trade, but then at the same time you talked about using it or utilizing it as an asset that you can actually buy and hold.
Great question.
So tell us about that.
Point. So, great point. So, a lot of people are getting confused because these platforms are popping up and they're saying, trade here or, buy, sell, whatever. But what they're actually doing is swapping. So swapping, that is actually purchasing the currency and having access to the currency in your wallet, right? So, but as a trader, or as a trader, you have leverage trading, you got spot trading, you got margin trading. So I'm a leverage trader. As a trader, I would actually take my USD from, say, Cash App or whatever, buy Bitcoin, send it to, or even other currency, cryptocurrencies, send it to the broker, swap it through the broker, and then trade whatever assets the broker offers. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
So basically, there's different ways to do it, and a lot of people get it conflated and misconstrued on what trading really is. Trading is a skill set. Like just because you move a currency from one place to another doesn't make you a trader.
Correct.
Right? So traders,
it doesn't make you a successful trader, but you are trading.
Well, when I say a trader, I mean like a trader in the sense of a stock, as the same of a stock trader, or a leverage trader.
Yeah, you can be an unsuccessful trader, just as much as you can be a successful one.
Yeah, I don't want to get too caught up on the terms. Right. I'm just talking about the idea of swapping something that you own versus trading something that you can make real quick money off of going up or down.
Correct.
Right? So that's what I'm trying to make the distinction.
Right, gotcha. So in other words, when if you're pushing, you're getting ready to push 6-figure. Congratulations, that's awesome. And I think it's interesting when you talk about trading. Depending on what you're trading, depending on what coin you're trading, some coins are volatile, some coins are not. Meaning some coins are moving, some coins are not moving. That's when I say volatile. For those who are listening, I know you know. So the point is that is this 6 figures more of the actual trade itself, or is it coming from potential clients who come in a class? Or is this actually from all trading? In other words, everything that you're making is actually from the coin trading. Meaning that if I followed you and actually pick the same trade you pick, I would make the exact same, correct?
That's a great question. And you would think that's the case. But the topic of the day is mindset, right?
Right.
So let's talk about it, right? The reason 90% of traders aren't successful is because their mindset. It's because what they've been taught about money. It's been taught because they've been taught that money don't grow on trees. Or you got to work hard to earn a living. All these programs we've been given, that may or may not work for us. So when it comes to trading, you got to really work on your mindset because you got childhood trauma that you probably haven't dealt with. And it might have something to do with money. And now you go connect your chart and you're looking at your money go down. Next thing you know, just because I told you to get in here and get out there, I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your account looks like. I don't know what your mindset is. So yeah, I can give 10 people the same signal and all 10 of them are going to make a different amount of money because of mindset. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. No. I'm saying if I'm on your shoulder, I'm sitting on your shoulders. I'm watching every move you make. I'm putting in the same amount. I'm cashing out the same amount. I'm following you. I'm following your mindset. My mindset is now your mindset. I'm on your shoulders like a little devil on your shoulders. What I'm asking you is that if I'm on your shoulders and I'm following exactly your trades, that's my mindset. My mindset is your mindset. If you're making 6 figures, I should be right there with your 6 figures because I'm on your shoulders doing exactly what you do. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you said the key word should be.
Yeah. Right.
So let me ask you this now. Are you making is Forex trading? How much of the money that you're making right now is Forex trading a part of? I figured that's what it.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to figure out if that was the question. So
so here's why real quick. Here's why I say that real quick. This is why I say that. There are people listening when you hear 6 figures and you say crypto, there are people listening that don't know. Because this is the first time they heard it, and they'll go running in there and lose all their fucking money. And I've seen it happen. And there's some people right now listening tell you right now they done lost a lot of money by listening to people who are saying, "Hey, I just made 6 figures." And that's why I'm asking: is the 6 figure actually from trading, or is it 6 figures actually from membership drive? There's a difference. And I know people who talk about they're making money off crypto, but they're really making money off membership drive, not actual. Because when I look at crypto, and I know how to look at it right now, and if I was to ask a trait of what to follow, I can go back and look at all what it was doing last week, the week before, and I can do that to look at it and see where I can put in the money to percentage. I can put a little percentage here, put a little percentage there. I can put a little percentage in 4 or 5 different coins or 4 or 5 different trades and just sit and watch it grow. I can pick this out and go. That's a lot of work in watching it. But what I'm saying is that people who are listening, they're listening thinking, damn, that sounds easy, but it's actually not that easy. And there's a lot you got to learn. And it's not no one ticket out of the ghetto.
No,
it's absolutely not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing. I'm pretty sure y'all heard that before, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what it is, it's simple. And once you learn it, it's very simple.
But the biggest thing you said right there is learning it, and that's where you know you've taken some years to actually sit down, study, and learn this thing. So for you right now, when we say that this will be your first year as a 6-figure earner in crypto, is what all is your money encompass? You know, because I know you have your own informational academy as well. I mean, that's your own business.
Before we even go any further, before we even go any further, I don't really want to get hung up on, you know, how much money that I'm making, or, you know, because it's not about how much money I make. It doesn't really matter how much money I'm making or anybody else is making. It's all about the possibility of the money that, you know, that others can make. So Forex is a $6.6 trillion industry per day to from my last research, probably even more. And we're over $1 trillion in market cap in crypto, right? So I always tell people these markets are an ocean. How big is your bucket? You know, because it's all about your mindset. I do a trading psychology call every Monday. We talk about these types of things, right? Because it's all about your mindset. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep, right? So long story short, like I said, I didn't want to get hung up on financial numbers or whatever, because at the end of the day, like the brother said, people can hear that and think it's easy. And it's not about that. Like, I spent 6 years, you know, trying to get where I'm at, and still not where I want to be. You know what I mean? So
you're still on the grind. You're still on the come up.
Yeah. So, and as far as the question, no, I don't. I mean, I do recruit personally, but I don't do MLM, right? So Bitcoin Campus is not an MLM, if that's what you're referring to. We make money about at least 6, 7, 8 ways. Personally, mine comes from NFTs, like I said earlier. I do own cryptocurrencies in my wallet, and I also trade crypto and Forex. And I also have a whole another business, right? I do consulting and coaching. So my money, I don't believe in having one stream of income. Like even in the Bible, it tells you 7 streams, right? So that's what I believe in, and that's what I teach. Gotcha. So I hope that answers the question.
And now, what's the name of your because you have an academy, consulting?
Yeah, engagement. The Rules of Engagement Academy is my marketing group. That's where
and they can find that on Facebook.
Yeah, you can just go on the search. It's a private group, but you can reach out to me through the DMs on Facebook. Or Rules of Engagement Academy. Basically, what we do is teach people how to monetize social media.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's right. I saw a call or a call that you were having one time, and I was able to actually link up another brother, Ali, to that, and it was about how to monetize your social media, you know, to where even to the point to where people message you and it automatically messages back and all type of stuff. So, you know, with that in mind, again, Bitcoin Campus is really just a community. And so, you know, it's a community of people like yourself who are leaders that may have other things going on, people who are not leaders having things going on, but want to learn more about this whole digital world, and Bitcoin Campus gives them the opportunity to find that community. Because again, I came in to Bitcoin Campus, and then that's how I saw you and met you, and then was able to, you know, not only accidentally make money with Bitcoin Campus, but then getting in with your Rules of Engagement Academy to make money over there. You know, and so that's awesome right there. Now, you know, to kind of you know, summarize some of this. I know, John, you had a last thing that you were kind of bringing forth, right?
No. What I wanted the people to hear, to be clear, is that when you're hearing these numbers, these are not numbers you're making off crypto trade itself. And people need to understand that when they hear it, that it's really about the membership and everything else the person's doing, instead of thinking when they hear 6 figures, that's just all trading. And people wondering how you do it. I can't let
you. I can't let you do that one now. That's not the case, right? It's absolutely possible. Like I'm in line, right?
Possible.
Paying $500 a month for this mastermind.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. I don't think we're taking away. We're not taking anything away from that. We definitely know it's possible. Yeah. What John is trying to do is just make sure that the community understands that you ain't about to go take $500, drop it in a brokerage account, and go press some buttons and think you about to make some money, and you haven't spent time. Which in your case, you're talking some years. Which in most people's cases, they can admit that years to learn how to do this stuff.
No, what I'm saying,
you gotta take some time.
You don't have. All I'm trying to say is you don't have to recruit to make a dime in crypto. You don't have to tell a single soul to make a dime in crypto. So I don't want you to get on here and tell the people that. That's all I'm saying. So that's not true. That's all I'm saying.
No, that ain't what we're saying. What we're saying is, I'm talking to the listeners of people that I know.
Maybe I heard you wrong. I guess I heard you wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah. That's not what we're saying. You wrong. Yeah. We're saying is that people misunderstand the concept and don't know that, yes, you can invest in stocks. You can invest in dividends. Listen, I'm familiar with day trading and how stocks work. People don't understand that stocks are based upon what is called speculations. Speculation is the word of mouth that causes stocks to fluctuate up and down. I'll give you an example. Let's take, for instance, anything that you sell that's sold in a store, whether it is a detergent. That detergent price don't fluctuate up and down. It's actually staying. But if you go look at the stocks, the stock goes up and down. How do you separate the stocks from the product that's on the shelf? Is that the stocks is based upon speculation of what people saying about the company, not what the company's selling itself. Because I give you an example. Your boy, Elon Musk, got on a radio show talking about smoking marijuana. Guess what happened? His stocks went down based on speculation, but the cars were still selling at the same price. So it's really based on a speculation of what people are saying about it that creates the buzz, that creates the hype. This is the same game as when I spoke about having elders around you, because we're familiar with the pyramid and how the pyramid works, right? Where you got those on the bottom, you got those at the top, right? And it used to be the pyramids started way back in the days, right? And it was just basically word of mouth. And then came along what was called multi-level marketing, which was same as a pyramid, except now with a product. People still at the bottom, but the people at the top was making all the money because they were bringing in, and every time you bring in 10 people, those 10 people bring in more 10 people, and every time they do that, your little increase picks up because of the people came in, not because of the actual product itself being sold. And so this is something that constantly continues. It'll be another one. Something else will come. There's always going to be a new idea that's going to be pitched by the word of mouth. Hey, you tell somebody, you tell somebody, you tell somebody, and every time you tell somebody and they tell somebody, you get paid, I get paid, and this is how it works. But it's not worked up on basics of the product itself being sold. So I understand how it works because I've been understanding day trading, Forex, and I'm understanding crypto and how this works. See, I'm a person that believes in this. I've been a businessman for over 21 years. So I'm an old school guy. You know, we can bring on Edwin Fox as we did before with Raymond James, and we can talk about investments in things. But like, I'm an old school guy. So therefore, I love products, services, and companies. That's what I invest in, right? Because I can see my money, I can see the product, I can see the company. I can actually touch the product and touch the company and touch the service. Where crypto, you can't touch it, you can't see it. There's no products that's being sold or traded. It's actually just a coin based on hype. I understand it. And you can get in, ride the wave, get out, and do something else with your currency. Because why? Currency is just an energy flow. And like you said earlier, it's just energy that you gain and trade to give you more energy, whether you're food, feeding yourself, gas in your car, paying your gas and light, and paying your home. So we're all just transferring energy. What I'm trying to teach is people is trying to learn how to where you pour that energy in, living beneath your means, putting money to the side, stacking that money and putting money over here, to where you have multiple investments from your income of your stream, right? And you generate money wider and wider. I'm a trader with my currency with China, Taiwan, and India, where I bring in products I purchase over there that I can't get over here at the price, but I can buy it over there, can put my opponents together to make my one product. I get products from different countries just to make one product, right? And then sell it over here at a certain market price that gets me in stores and gets me to other distributors to carry my products in other stores. That's called trading, because I understand how currency works. Currency works just the same way. If I can take $1,000 and go overseas and buy something, that I can bring it over here and make 10 grand from, right? Same thing. It's trading here and there. And so when people talk about crypto, I try to tell everyone, listen, if you find a good coin, get in and get out. But don't assume that you're going to get rich overnight. It doesn't work like that. And so right now, everybody's looking for the next Bitcoin. Right now, everyone's looking for that next Bitcoin that they can pay a few dollars for, and it's going to go all the way up to 60 grand, right? And so they're going to sprinkle a little bit to you, but I'm just wondering if somehow we're working ourselves into a burning house by looking at if crypto is the answer to remove regular currency, I see that as a burning house. If that's where we're going, and if that's the promotion for crypto based upon that it is to take place of currency. If that's the European plan, then I think that's a trap, and I'm wondering about that piece.
So when you speak on that, then Mike, what do you think the future of currency and crypto is in this here dimension, in this world, in this day right now? Do you think that we're going to go all digital, that it's going to be nothing but digital currency? I mean, in a sense, we kind of, we already have it, banking and,
look, we've been digital, 90% digital over 30 years. People just been asleep at the wheel.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Right. So when crypto came along, it was like, hey, what is this? Nobody understood it. Like people to this day don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. I have a great clue. I'm not going to say it here on this live, but I know some people who did research. You can actually find out who that is. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not going to say the name. But anyway, long story short, I forgot where I was going. So, it's
the future of crypto, the future of currency here in our country.
So we already, like I was saying, we already been digital. Money's been ones and zeros on the screen for over 30 years, right? Over 90% of it, right? That's the reason why you go to the bank and they tell you got to wait however long to get your money that you gave them that you're not earning a dime on, right? Because it's a game. So the game has changed. It always changes. Like you said, it's something new every 20 years. But guess what? Currency changes every few thousand years or a few hundred. I forget the number. Don't quote me. But this is just another time in history where we're going through that change. And you want to talk about, well, I don't want to get into the rabbit hole, but there's a reason why they put the brakes on the whole world for 2 years. And now all of a sudden, nobody's dying of heart attacks. Nobody's dying of cancer. Nobody's dying of AIDS. But
everybody's dying. Everybody's dying of this new thing. Now they're talking monkeypox and whatnot.
Look, they keep a crisis for you. As soon as you come out of one, they got another one waiting on you.
Exactly.
But hey, and I was gonna say that earlier. Listening to you a lot of times, man, it sounds like you've been listening to the Tipping Point show. When I hear some of the stuff you say, bro, because you talk our language a lot.
Man, listen, Dr. Amos Wilson, all of them, Sheikh Anta Diop, you name them, John Henrik Clark. I've been studying them. Like, I know, I'm not saying I know everything, but I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
This is part of something that's been in the works for a long time. And, you know, people like us been telling people to watch out, but they called us crazy. So now we know how John the Baptist felt if he ever existed, right? That's a whole nother conversation.
So in looking at this, then, you know, is the ideal, you know, to get in, grab some of it while it's here, ride the train while it's here, you know, through learning, through knowledge, through understanding, to learn some of this stuff, because it is, you know, the new way forward. And like, do you have an exit plan? Is there a time where people should get out?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't foresee this going anywhere. You know, from my research, I don't see them, you know, doing it would take an EMP, right, for this shutdown. But then that's going to hurt them. So why would they do that? So I don't see this going anywhere, personally. I was going to say something. You just got me. I apologize. This is like really passionate for me. And I really wanted to make a point. But anyway, yeah, this is where I'm at with it. I don't want to be the one to say, well, get on the train before you miss it, because that's, you know, that goes back to the mindset thing. I believe, you know, that this planet is abundant, this world is abundant. We're supposed to be abundant. So I'm very careful with pushing out those types of narratives because of what it does. I feel that this is not going anywhere, and it would be the smart thing to learn as much as you can about it, because whether you like it or not, your dollar will be digital. And why do something that you can actually create wealth with? Because what they're going to give you is going to be the same thing they've been giving you, right? Which is nothing.
Do you believe one day currency of trading hands would be obsolete one day?
Meaning cash to cash, hands in pocket, gone. You believe that?
Paper? You mean paper gone? Yeah, I do believe that. Well, they've been trying to get rid of it for 30 years.
Whether it is any currency of trading hands, paper, whether it is another currency, when I'm saying whether it's a coin, when you're talking crypto, you're talking digital.
Currency used to be cowrie shells. Currency is always going to be, energy is always going to be exchanged through some type of medium.
Correct. So what I'm
cowrie shells.
Right. So what I'm asking you is your thoughts of what do you believe one day that currency as we know it will no longer be here, meaning trading money for money. Okay. What does that world look like?
One day people are going to go. I believe that people are going to go to the bank one day and they're going to be like, we don't. Because what happens is, see, you're talking about Forex and all this earlier, right? So what people don't know is the USD is the world's reserve currency, right? But guess what? Those days are over. But they're not telling us that. They're telling us everything else, right? They got you worried about everything but what the whole thing is the US dollar is not being recognized globally. It's not being accepted globally. So now they got to come up with all this stuff to fool the people, right?
Got what do you think a world looks like when there's no currency? What does that look like?
I know, to me that sounds like the haves and the have-not.
That's the thing. I believe there always will be. That's what they're doing, right? It's going to be a world with no middle class, right? It's going to be the haves and the have-nots. Like you said, everything's going to be on plastic or, you know, on a card. But when you keep saying currency, you talking about currency and money. I don't believe that's the same thing. I don't believe currency is going anywhere. I just believe that the dollar bill is, but that's because my mindset is different.
Correct.
This is
When I
why,
say currency,
you
when
know,
I say currency as we know it, I mean the dollar bill and how we trade money right on the street. That's what I'm talking about. That'll be gone, is what you're saying.
yeah,
And that's what I'm
those days
asking.
are numbered.
What does that
Absolutely.
right? Right. So what does that world look like to you? I'm just trying to get an example. Have you really thought about a world that has no dollar bill trading? What does that world look like?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It looks totally different than the world we know, totally different than the world we grew up in. And, you know, this has happened before. It was just that we happen to be, you know, alive to see it. People looked at, what's his name? Henry Ford, like he was crazy, right? But guess what? Now you don't even walk a block to the store. You can jump in the car and go, right? But guess what? They told Henry Ford he was crazy. So it doesn't matter what we think or feel, it's going to happen regardless. I mean, that's my opinion. I could be wrong.
Right, you couldn't be wrong, because
just
basically
because
what will happen would be based upon the people's mindset collectively. If the people start believing it will happen, if people start believing, then it will happen. But just like COVID came and went, a lot of people fought back mentally that made it go away, because there's a plan out here. But it can only work if everybody agrees with the plan. So if you keep putting flashes of television stuff out there, if you keep throwing the stuff in their face and people start to believe it, then it will happen. But if people reject it, it won't happen. And I don't think no one's in control like in that tension. I'm gonna tell you, the one that's trying to be in control of the New World Order, that's his plan. Yeah, his plan is to take the currency off the street. You know why? Because once you take the currency off the street, now you can track every move you make. Every time you spend a dime, you're going to have to be connected to some type of digital currency. So people who are not connected to the banking system or a phone system or something they're connected with can't get currency. Because if you're standing on the street, you coming out of prison and standing on the street. I stood on the street selling incense that got my business where I'm at now, where I can actually trade something for $1. That goes away. So are we agreeing with something because there's a few little coins being dangled to us that makes us feel good? Are we agreeing with something that's going to lead us into a burning house one day, where it's going to stop people from just a simple person of being out on the street and not being a slave to someone else's corporation and getting paid? Because to me, the New World Order is the new slavery that would take place, that will make you need to go get you a job to go work for somebody. Because why? You can't get out here in the street and sell products to make trade, because you got to be connected to a system. That is a scary sight to me, when you take away that ability of people having exactly money. So we don't see things that way in the future, because we're too young and we're too gravity to what their little sprinkle they're giving us. They're just giving us a little sprinkle. And if that's the case, and we fall for that sprinkle and everybody's mindset go in it, and then all of a sudden, poop, it clicks off. Now everybody's in trouble. And then you're talking about a new wave of slavery without putting a whip on you. It's based upon you not having any currency that you can trade with.
No, I get what you're saying. And you know, it's a scary thought.
Scary thought.
So that's why they got these I'm not sure if you've seen what's been going on. I think it was California and a couple other places. They're already implementing the UBI. Are you familiar with that?
Tell me.
Universal Basic Income.
It's called Universal Basic Income, right? So they already got this stuff cooked up. So what they,
which to me is what they were testing as they were giving people, you know, whatever this money was during the pandemic. You know, they were giving people this little bit of money. To me, that was them testing to see how the people would react, how docile or how much in arms they would be, and to see how people could take that little bit of money and make it work. So they were looking to see how, you know, the wealthiest of the wealthiest, how, you know, what little bit of money could they go ahead and give these people in order to keep them, you know, happy and docile enough to where they would be okay, so that they can keep the lion's share of the money and continue to go and do whatever else they want to do.
That's why they've been loading up the toothpaste with fluoride all these years. You know what I mean? That's why they've been don't get me to really. I can jump down the rabbit hole if you really want me to. But what I'm saying is this:
we play in rabbit holes, bro. I mean, we jump down rabbit holes all day long, man.
Yeah,
and that was kind of the second part of our conversation. You know, just so everybody knows, we're kind of jumping into that. But you know, we wanted to do the crypto come up with the crypto MD. And this was a you know, if you wanted to stay or not. But the second part of the conversation is crypto the answer to our financial problems, or is it leading us into a burning house in the matrix? You know, that was kind of the second part, the second half of our show. And we kind of just jumped in there. You know, and I think we all agree that yes, it's leading us. This is the agenda. Create digital currency. You know, my fear is, you know, however many supercomputers there are that the blockchain that is being used to keep the blockchain up. How many double agents there might be that are sitting at one of those supercomputers? You know what I mean? That gonna get a call one day and they'll be like, all right, it's time. And they go ahead and press the button, and then the button, you know, takes control from everybody's digital currency.
Sound like that's what they call a rug pull, right?
Yeah, man. Hey,
those recently.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I don't think we're far from it.
That's why community is so important in crypto, because at the end of the day, community is what drives any currency, right? Community is what gives any currency value, even you know, the US dollar. If you want to break it down, it's only valuable because we believe it is. Like, they removed the gold standard in 1971. So in other words, you can't go to the bank with $1 and say, you know, I want my gold. Ain't no gold. You know, we're talking about the rabbit hole. It's my belief that the queen got it all, but that's a whole nother call, right? So what we got to learn is the difference between money and currency, right? That was money, but we are the currency. We are the value, and that's what I believe. So,
so the idea right now is to inform yourself.
As far as the burning house, real quick before I forget. So as far as the burning house thing, like I was saying, if you don't get the proper education, yes, it definitely would be, you know, leading into a burning house because of what they're doing, you know, with what they call the CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. What they're going to do is scare people into using those currencies. That's actually going to keep them from gaining any type of wealth, because they're still going to be using inflationary tactics, right? So it's people like us that know the way, go the way, and then show the way, so that we don't lead our people into a burning house. We actually lead them to financial freedom using their technology, right? That's I just wanted to get that. But
so the more informed you are, the better.
Absolutely. Ain't nothing new. Is that new? Like, that's always been the case. And people have always paid for information. Like, I had somebody in my inbox yesterday talking about what'd she say? Let me see if I can find it. She said something about why people who are successful charge people for information if they're already successful. I hit her right back and said, because people don't value free stuff. And you know what she did? She hearted it because she knows the truth, right? We don't value free. So,
you know, and that's interesting because, you know, we've had a couple brothers on the show, and one of the brothers, Brother Diego, he said, Joe, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know, on my journey to get to where I am, to just learn from other people. You know, I've spent money to go sit in the rooms with other successful people to learn it.
That's it.
And I think you're right. You know, when it comes to value, you know, there's kind of that kind of makes me think of, you know, the welfare system and You know, if you drive through a traditional neighborhood, you can kind of tell, you know, you ride through and you see one house where all the kid stuff is sitting outside and you know, different things like that. And people might say, oh, that might be the one where, you know, that's a Section 8 house or something like that. You know, I mean, that's a stigma, that's a stereotype. But in a lot of cases, if you don't have skin in the game, you know, if you're not putting your own money, your own value in there, then it's easier for a person to not value whatever that thing is because they don't have skin in the game. You know, and I noticed it in so many different places, even in the life insurance industry. You know, my partner, Jason, you know, he used to give away a lot more stuff to people, hoping for a return. But what happened was these people did not value what he was giving them as much because it was free. But once you get people now are putting skin in the game, they're paying monthly for leads. They're paying for monthly for the technology that they're using. And now these people, these are some of the more successful people because they putting skin in the game. So they're going now when they get a lead, they're not going to just look for a lay down. They pay for that lead. So they're going to dig in on that lead and try to get the most out of that lead because they're paying for it. So you're right, you know, value. So it's all about, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, that's I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just agreeing with you. You know, that's the law of the harvest. You can't reap a harvest if you don't plant a seed, right? So it's all about planting the seed, putting the time in, and reaping your harvest. You know, I just wanted to get that in real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off though. No,
you're good. You're good. So I want to wrap up here. You know, here's a comment from the crowd. As a STEM student, after years of studying crypto extensively, blockchain has many other uses besides just currency. It is one tool and is being implemented by the global elite. And that's right, and that's true. It's not just for moving money. The blockchain, they talking about the use of it for music production and all of that. Because of its anonymity, I believe, is the big secret sauce to blockchain.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it for sure. And, you know, they're definitely right. But I feel like we're the new elite, you know. We have a chance to become the new elite. We don't have to, like brother was talking about, people still talking about the white man holding them down. Like, I really can't even get into that conversation these days because you have all the tools. You have all the tools at your disposal. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like I really don't even have time to entertain that energy these days. So
a supercomputer in the palm of our hands these days. You can look up any bit of information you want.
I mean, people buying their children $1,000 phones. You know,
I know it, right?
They're not making a dime off it. Like,
right.
Your children playing Disney and YouTube on it.
You know, we had to go out. Man, listen, man, we had to go outside and play, climb a tree, you know what I'm saying? Go dig into some mud. Like, yeah, this is a whole new world. But
I'm still trying to find out where I buried my G.I. Joes at.
Right.
Hey, well, look, you know, as we give some last words, you know, I want to do this real quick. I'm gonna go to commercial. We're gonna come back. We're gonna give some last words and just wrap it up. As we talk about this, you know, is crypto, is it the new thing? Is it the answer to our financial problems, or is it leading us to a burning building in the matrix? You know, I think, it probably is leading us to a burning building in the matrix. But if you inform yourself well enough, then you can learn how to maneuver in that building with your nice air-conditioned fire resistant suit on. But either way, folks, we'll be right back as we come back here at the Tipping Point Show.
Hey folks, check out HealthDaddyWow.net. 100% plant-based herbs and supplements. Whether you're in person or online, use the word tipping for 10% off. Remember, feel better, look great, HealthDaddyWow.net. Remember, HealthDaddyWow.net.
I don't need to sit at your table. We building one. We in the process of building a table. We building a table. I don't gotta sit at your table. I'm building my own table, and I will build you a table in the presence of your enemies.
Thank you, Truth Be Told, for allowing God's Lives Matter to be a sponsor. Wearable Products, as the purple t-shirt, is bearing witness every life created by God has infinite value. Visit God'sLivesMatter.com.
Habibi Trading Company, home of soap sticks and Saya Baba products. Over 400 locations at a store near you. Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky, Southern Indiana, or find yours online at SayaBaba.com. Again, that's SayaBaba.com. Habibi Trading Company, where you can find fragrances to incite your senses.
All right, folks, as we bring it back here, wrapping up here with the Tipping Point morning show, we are giving our last comments on the idea of, is crypto the answer to our financial problems, or is it leading us into a burning house, in the matrix? We have with us our guest here, Brother Michael Douglas, the crypto come up, who has shown us that, you know, an average person can, through learning, understanding, gaining knowledge, and applying that knowledge, right, can make money in this digital world. It may not be easy, but as you learn and understand what you're doing, it can become simple. All right. So with that in mind, and as you said, this year being your first year moving into a six-figure earner in this digital world, then you've got multiple streams of income within this, from NFTs to Forex trading to your own consulting company that you have as well. You're definitely moving and shaking, and the BitcoinCampus.org, we can't deny, has been a base for a lot of us who are learning and reaching out and touching other people as well. But as we wrap this up, here's another comment: real estate, NFTs, package and food inventory tracking, medical records. Blockchain is fascinating, but it requires investment to properly implement. The early birds reap the highest rate of return. I mean, but that, you know, when you say that, you know, when you talk about if I create a company and that company blows up and takes off, I'm probably going to be the first one out of that company to become very financially successful because of, I started the company. Right. So that kind of is normalcy there.
Yeah, I just want to add real quick, that's not necessarily all true either, because there's so many ways to earn free cryptocurrency, right? Because what they need is mass adoption. So if you have time, you don't even need money in crypto. You know, I got a whole masterclass on this, so I had to, just push back on that last comment just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, like you said, that's with anything, investment, comes before the harvest, right?
Yeah.
So
I just picked up 22,000 Move Moon coins.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then I got shot some more free yo coins or whatever. So, you know, I mean, I'm a hodl them. You know, I'm a hodl them. And, you know, hodl, if y'all don't know what that means, HODL, that means hold on for dear life. You know, I'm a hodl them. And hey, if they take off, one of them could be the next Bitcoin, John. I don't know. But if it take off, cool. I'm you know, when the time is right, I'm gonna cash out. You know, and that's what's up. Right. You know, but go ahead, just give us your last tidbits, man. As we go ahead and wrap up and bounce. Go ahead and give us the last your last words, Mike.
Okay. Well, first, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show. I really do appreciate the opportunity, the platform. I love what you guys are doing. You know, y'all speak my language. With that said, I think, what I can leave people with is to just, and it goes back to the topic of the day, really mindset. Think about what you're thinking about, right? Think about who you're listening to. Are the people that you're listening to and actually taking direction from, people in a situation that you want to be in, things of that nature. And when it comes to crypto, always do your own research. They have these things what they call rug pulls, where basically people are investing into them, and then the people that create the project run off with all the money. So you have to learn how to do search and avoid the pyramids that brother was talking about. Because I still actually believe the pyramid is actually the best business structure. It's actually the same structure, in a family. If you look at a family tree, it's a pyramid. Like, they're still trying to figure out how they created the pyramids in Egypt. Like, I don't knock pyramids. It's all about having, a real product. So, that's just, something else I wanted to add to the conversation as well, because there's nothing wrong. Like, every successful organization, if you look at it, is a pyramid. So again, we have to shift our mindsets, from the stuff that we've been programmed to automatically see as something negative. And as far as, my journey, I just want to say, if anybody's out there who's been to prison or lost a child or, grew up without a father, you see me on this type of show, it's because I didn't give up, because of what, even what I went through, still mourning, on a daily basis sometimes, but I keep pushing, you know what I mean? And, I've surrounded myself with the right people. And you got to make sure that you do that, because it's about your environment. Even if it's, online, you got to find people like-minded. Even if you can't find people in your own city, your own town, do what you got to do to stay away from the mindset that you used to have, the people that used to, lead you down the wrong path and stuff, So that's pretty much what I wanted to say,
Cool, brother. We appreciate you coming on, man. You speak our language just the same, and we're glad to have you. Again, this was an opportunity for people to see somebody reachable that, I mean, when we look at some of our other brothers in the game, making 20, 30 grand a month, it's great to look at them, but for the average person, they're looking and they're like, wow, they got in early, or I can't get to 30 grand a month, but just being able to, see somebody that is on the come up, that is getting there, and open about it, and open about their success with multiple streams of income is absolutely fantastic. So we appreciate you. And folks, we just want to let you know again that, my man here is doing a few different things, from crypto to Forex to his own business consulting, as he is encompassing his come up in this digital currency world. So, it's beautiful to see it. And, Brother John, go ahead and drop something on us here as we exit our way out.
Yeah, definitely glad to have you on, brother. I appreciate the knowledge and stuff you dropped. And definitely I commend you for brothers coming out of prison. Definitely. I think it's a certain mindset that when I see brothers coming out the joint and making it, there's a mindset there, and you definitely help that mindset to where you're not gonna be inside that revolving door. Now, when it comes to investments, of course, I tell everyone to do your research, no doubt. Do your research on your percentage of your money, where you're putting your money at, how much percentage you want back. I recommend people go into and look at dividends, look at a company that can give you anywhere 3 to 9% dividends back. Throw your money in there and just let it grow. You can find several companies to do that with. I believe people that when people who have work, if you have a job and you work, you should see yourself as an entrepreneur. It's very easy to do by having a surplus at the end of your job, at the end of your week. So learning how to live beneath your means so you can put money up and take that money and put a little bit over here. Another year, take a little bit and put it over there and start doing some investments is the best way. Nothing's wrong with working. Nothing's wrong with serving. No matter what you do in this planet, you're going to serve. Right? Because I don't care if you own a business, whatever it is, you're trying to serve other people. And there ain't nobody else in the game that you're going to get the money from, right? Other than other people. So learning how to serve, learning how to be humble, learning how to get beneath the person you're serving until you come out from up under service is the ideal. But some people seem to be afraid of working hard as though some type that's connected to slavery. Hey, you need to get that mindset away from you, because working hard and being diligent and staying with your project is the key. And I'm gonna last leave you with this. It's very interesting. You cannot finish anything. You cannot start nothing until you first finish it. What do I mean by that? Meaning that if you plan to build a house, you have to finish the house before you can start building the house. What that means is that you must have the house completely built in your head first before you first start building the foundation. It would be foolish to start building a house before you first have it already complete in the brain. So a lot of times people have a lot of information in their brain, but they don't complete one subject or one thing. So I can look at an individual that's got a lot going on, but wait a minute, if you have not produced nothing yet in this dimension, it is because you have not completed it yet in this dimension before it come into this dimension. So a lot of people got a lot of things in their head. There's a lot of distractions to keep you from completing your task. There's a lot of things that you end up spending your time with and taking your time to give up for your own purpose. So people need to pay attention. You need to turn off that damn TV. You need to stop reading books or listening to music that are not benefiting you. And you need to stay away from people that do not support and see your dream also, right? So those kind of things you can do to come up. Those are the kind of things you can do to get your life right and get a financial control over your life. That's extremely important. There is no freedom without some type of currency. Even if you want to travel, my thing is trying to find a way to live off the grid. I don't care where you get your money from. If you're tied into this system, your best way is to think about trying to get off the grid, somewhere where you can irrigate your own water, somewhere where you can use solar for your power in the house, so where you ain't gotta be a part of the system. Grow your own food. Learn how to grow your own food. We need to learn how to get off up under the trap, opposed to bringing people more into the trap. And there's no way out. Everyone should have an out goal, an out. How are you going to get out? We know how you're going to get in, but how the hell are you going to get out? Are you just going to stay stuck in there for you and your children to stay? No, you got to plan a way out of this shit while you're gaining and learning the knowledge, because this is a Eurocentric money-making system. Learn it. Understand it, master it. Many people have, and then learn what you're going to do to exit. So yes, anyone can do it, but just pay attention to what you're doing with your money. Study carefully, and do nothing based on emotion. Based on your intellect is where you should be leading yourself.
Absolutely, folks. And that right there sums up another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show. With my brother from another mother, Brother John Yah, Esoteric Concepts, myself, Mr. Just As Joe, and our guest, Brother Michael Douglas, the Crypto MD, who, man, we didn't even get it in there, but, even from a health standpoint, has just surpassed some amazing things as well. But nonetheless, folks, it's been great. We'll see you guys once again next week, same place, same time, right here on the Tipping Point Morning Show. Peace, brothers.
You are listening to The Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Yeah. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, The Tipping Point Show.